basically what it was designed to do was to wipe out their culture. That's the bottom line. And you know, one of the things people think we're baying at the moon here a lot of times when we talk about these, as you're calling them, robber barons.
But it's all on record. I mean, they wrote books themselves.
Let me give you one that's if anybody doubts this, they can go study it themselves. It's absolutely true, and they'll find the documentation on it. At the end of World War II, it was revealed that the company who manufactured the gas for the Nazi death camps was a company named I.G. Farben. And it was later found out when the Allies started researching what had gone on with I.G. Farben, it was later found out that not only did they manufacture the gas for the Nazis to use in their gas chambers, I.G. Farben engineers actually designed the gas chambers as a way to induce the Nazis to buy the gas from them. I.G. Farben engineers and I.G. Farben board of directors members were charged and tried at Nuremberg after the war. Now, I.G. Farben was a large company in Europe at the time, and they obviously didn't want to go out of business. So what they did to distance themselves from the Holocaust, which they were being closely linked to, especially when all their board of directors was on trial at Nuremberg, they changed the name of the company. It became known as Hergt, AG. And they survived. The company survived. Not only did it survive, it thrived. And today, Hergt is a gigantic multinational pharmaceutical and chemical company. Now, they have subsidiaries all over the world, including the United States. Their headquarters is in New Jersey. In France, their subsidiary is a company called Roussel-Uclaf. Roussel-Uclaf is the company that developed RU-46, the abortion pill. So in other words, the same company, I.G. Farben, which manufactured the gas for the Nazi death camps, also developed RU-46 to use in American death camps.
Killing is our business, and business is good.
And here's something that's very interesting about this. It was also revealed in congressional hearings after the war that the Rockefeller Foundation was a business partner with I.G. Farben. They even went together and formed another company called Standard I.G. Farben for Standard Oil, which was an American company under Rockefeller, and I.G. Farben. They were actually business partners, and that partnership even continued after the war began. So you had I.G. Farben and Rockefeller in bed together to come up with the Zyklon B gas that was used in the Nazi death camps. Later on, I.G. Farben is developing RU-46 under the name of Roussel-Uclaf in France. Another Rockefeller connection. When RU-46 was rushed through the approval process by the Clinton administration, they couldn't find a manufacturer to manufacture RU-46 for the American.
Because it kills a lot of people that take it. Stay there. Final segment with our guest. We got to have him back on a routine basis. Final segment coming up. Ma'afa 21, Black Genocide in the 21st Century America. A slice of the evil, but a big slice. You need to see it. Available at Infowars.com. Folks, I expect to see these go out the door. I want you to have viewing showings, viewing parties. Get this out to everybody.
This is Alex Jones.
It is on record that Margaret Sanger gave awards to Hitler, got awards from him. It is on record she called blacks subhuman weeds that had to be exterminated. We have to hire blacks to be our front so they don't know we want to kill them. It is on record all of this goes on. So don't be in denial about what set up abortion, what runs it, what's happening in this country and in the world, and the carbon tax, and that we're carbon-based life form, that we need to be taxed for having more than one child and need to be regulated and be licensed to have kids. This is the eugenics takeover. And after our guest leaves us, I'm going to get more into that. But I wanted to play a clip from Endgame, Blueprint for Global Enslavement. This is from the movie put out in the 30s promoting this stuff. And they had a bunch of newsreels that promoted it. And, you know, as bad as this movie is, it's seen as, oh, she's really innocent. She doesn't need to be sterilized because she was adopted. But it's still, oh, the retards need to be, you know, sterilized, or people that have mental problems need to be, or physical problems. But she's innocent. So they put it in this situational ethics where she's innocent, but the others still deserve it. Here it is.
The scientific rationale for tyranny has always been attractive to elites because it creates a convenient excuse for treating their fellow man as lower than animals. Robert Thomas Malthus, famous for saying that a mass food collapse would be helpful because it would wipe out the poor. His fictional scenario would later be called a Malthusian catastrophe. Malthus is important because his ideas led to the rise of a new scientific field that would dominate the course of human history for the next 200+ years. Charles Darwin, an admirer of the Malthusian catastrophe model, developed the theory of evolution, its chief tenet being the survival of the fittest. With the help of T.H. Huxley, known as Darwin's bulldog for his strong support of Darwin's theories were pushed into wide acceptance among key scientific circles throughout England and then the world. Darwin's cousin, Francis Galton, credited as the father of eugenics, saw an opportunity to advance mankind by taking the reins of Darwin's evolution theory and applied social principles to develop social Darwinism. The families, Darwin, Galton, Huxley, and Wedgwood, were so obsessed with their new social design theory that they pledged their families would only breed with each other. They falsely predicted that within only a few generations, they would produce supermen. The emerging pseudoscience was only codifying the practice of inbreeding, already popular within elites for millennia. The four families experiment was a disaster. Within only 2 generations of inbreeding, close to 90% of their offspring either died at birth or were seriously mentally or physically handicapped. The moneyed class of the planet, and particularly the royal families of the world, who were already obsessed with breeding and filled with a predatory disdain for the underclass, seized on the new science and began aggressively enforcing its aims worldwide. Biometrics appears to be a new science, but it was actually developed by Galton back in the 1870s as a way to track racial traits and genetic histories, and as a way to decide who would be licensed to breed. In 1904, the Cold Springs Harbor Research Facility was started in the United States by eugenicist Charles Davenport with the funding of prominent robber barons Carnegie, Rockefeller, and Harriman. In 1907, the first sterilization laws were passed in the United States. Citizens with mild deformities or low test scores on their report cards were arrested and forcibly sterilized.
You're 17, aren't you, Alice?
Yes, but what have you done with my folks?
Well, we're trying to help them, Alice, and you too. They were taken to the hospital this afternoon.
Hospital? Wasn't none of them sick this morning?
We thought it necessary to present your family's case to the State Medical Commission. After an examination, they decided there was but one important action to take: to have your entire family sterilized.
Why, what's that? I don't know what you're talking about.
Now, in this state, we have a law which provides for such people to have an operation so there won't be any more children.
I see.
Now, we've placed your brothers in institutions where they'll be properly cared for. But you can go back to your job soon. I'll arrange to have it held open for you.
But I'm keeping my job. I'm not going anywhere.
Now, you're going to the hospital too, Alice.
And you mean they're going to stop me from having children ever?
Exactly.
I'm all right, I tell you. I won't go to any hospital.
We don't want any trouble with you, young woman. If you refuse to go, the officer here will take you by force.
In 1910, the U.S. Eugenics Record Office was set up.
All right, that's
By
enough.
then, the British had created...
And they take her to trial and decide to go ahead and sterilize her, and it's good. Going back to Mark Crutcher, this is our history. Those that don't know history are doomed to repeat it. Christ said the people perish for lack of knowledge. The truth will set you free. I mean, it really is true. And so finish up with the eugenics in the film Ma'afa 21, but then get into, and of course, love you back. I know your time is very important, sir, to get into the other crimes of Planned Parenthood, because it's not just their sicko eugenicists. The eugenicists hire sickos who like to engage in crimes against children as kind of their payoff to carry out these evils. So it's kind of a court of criminals all working together, each with their different vices they enjoy. The upper echelon control freaks just enjoy the domination of humanity, but their minions enjoy more